your business. And so I am now going to hand this over to Miss Tori and dazzle us, lady.
I'm ready to dazzle. I've already done some crazy tech challenges, so I'm ready to dazzle. But I totally agree with you, Joanne, that you need to know that you're going to interact with your audience, and then what's really going to be working online in 2020. So these are just some of the questions that we're going to be tackling tonight. I know we're kind of delayed, so I'm sorry about that. But we're going to really just dive in and talk about 20 ways to boost your marketing in 2020. Guys, we have a hashtag tonight called Visible You. So if you hear something that you like, go ahead and use that hashtag out on social media. And I just want to get started immediately. I do value your time, so turn off everything that's a distraction, your phones, any other programs, and find a quiet place so you can discover these new strategies. We do have a fast action bonus at the end for those who do stay to the end of this class, so you definitely don't want to miss that, because it's a way for you to start implementing your marketing plan right away while keeping you accountable, but more on that later. So tonight's takeaways inside this class is we're going to go over what type of content to create, especially my favorite content, which is video. We're going to leverage your expertise to become an industry influencer, plus share a few tools that will build customer relations and give you a way to stay consistent and take action today. So Joanne may have told you a little bit about me, but let me dive in a little bit deeper here. So for me, creating content has been a game changer by constantly evolving my business. For those of you who do not know me, I became a home stager back in 2009, opening the doors to a New York City-based company called Stylish Stagers, Inc. Full disclosure, I was an Emmy-nominated TV reporter in my past life. I shot all my own footage, conducted interviews, and presented the stories live. So by using these unique skills, focusing on YouTube and having a strategy to stay consistent, and I feel like my computer's slow, guys. Is it showing you something? I hope it is.
Yes, Tori, we are seeing it. We see you lying on the sofa.
My computer is doing the wheels, so I don't know what's happening now.
Okay, so it just isn't changing your slide as quickly?
Yeah, it is not.
Okay, well, hit the button ahead of time, and you can just keep talking to us.
All right, well, we will see if this keeps going or not. It looks like it's frozen again. So we're gonna check this out. Anyway, so I created a YouTube channel and combined that has nearly 12,000 subscribers, over 1.6 million views, and really with this phenomenal response and with my increased visibility as the best-selling author, Feel at Home, Home Staging Secrets, for a quick and easy sale that I think you're sitting there watching me hold, I was inspired to create the Stage to Sell strategy, which is the world's first home staging course developed exclusively for home sellers, available online, utilizing, you guessed it, on-demand video. I wonder if I go out and come back in.
Yeah, whatever you want to try. And listen, for everybody that's on there, because we're having these glitches. Okay, Tori, I think it was
yes.
changing. And I think it just changed because it popped up with your screen. Yeah, you're changing now. We're looking at your YouTube channel, and now we're looking at your computer screen, and now we're looking at your aha moment slide.
Okay, awesome, because that's where I want to be, in the aha moment. So I knew I wanted to help more people than just local home sellers prepare their homes for sale, and through content, particularly using video, I realized I could help more people with less time and effort. I can share my expertise, knowledge, and be positioned as an expert, which we're going to talk a little bit about more tonight, and build an online platform to create a thriving community of potential customers. Okay. So guys, statistics don't lie. 73% of marketers believe that their efforts through social media marketing have been very effective for their business. So in today's world, brands are riding the wave of social media marketing, and social media allows brands to access cost-effective marketing, interact with their audience, and build brand loyalty. And the best part, it's mainly free and organic traffic. Some of the benefits of this is many times you can use and reuse content over and over again. It provides continuous communication, builds relationships across the web while showing you at your best. Content will help you create a stronger brand presence by having a consistent process. When you show up online correctly, you're going to develop lasting relationships with potential customers. By staying consistent, you're going to increase your visibility while building authority and credibility. These social platforms will be your proof to show potential customers how you operate and communicate. So, guys, these are some of the benefits that I want to share with you tonight. So this is going to be an interactive class. And whenever you see these chat boxes, we're going to chime in. So let me know what's stopping you from creating more content in your business now. And as you're typing those in, I'll go through some of the things that I've heard in the past from my own clients too. So understanding the audience's challenges, having enough time and resources to actually produce content, right? Because we're supposed to be staging and decorating houses. What about developing a content plan? Writing content with focus and clarity. Sometimes people don't understand what content to produce and in what format. And also kind of not knowing where to post your content. So Joanne, has anyone put anything in there?
No, if you would like, type into the question or the chat box, what do you consider some of your major challenges when it comes to creating content? And, you know, Tori, while we're waiting to see if anyone chimes in here, I think sometimes is that, you know, what we do is relatively broad. And I think sometimes we can get in our own way of, well, I could talk about this, or I could talk about that. Grace Ann says technology and time to learn it.
That darn technology, right?
Yes,
darn
technology. Someone else says the whole process is just daunting to her. She says, I'm just starting out and social media is daunting for me. Oh my goodness, we can so relate to that.
We're always learning new things, even the, you know, people who have been using these platforms for a while. So just, you kind of have to dive in and find the platform that you like to communicate on. But let's talk now about some content that you can gather and maybe make this not so daunting for you. So here are a few areas to start focusing on. You should find plenty of ideas just by brainstorming these topics, guys, okay? So on a piece of paper, I want you to jot down a few words about each of these as I kind of go through them and see if it triggers any content ideas for you. So is there any recent events or any news, newsworthy information that you could be sharing to your potential clients or to your audience? What about a keyword research? All you have to do is figure out what other people are researching in terms of the industry that, you know, you're in, whether it's decorating or staging, and then start doing content around the keyword research. Frequently asked questions is a very good one too. So anytime somebody asks you a question, you should be jotting it down in just like this overall kind of a notepad or notepad on your phone. So you can go back and talk about it either on a video or in a blog post. You can also do how-to industry tips and tricks. You know, and maybe you have an interesting story to tell that you want to share to kind of leverage your brand. Or you could start with how your business works and why it's unique. So I want you guys to take a picture of this slide right here. Here's the best content to produce on each social media platform. So with Facebook, obviously, most of these platforms favor video nowadays, which is why I want you guys to start embracing that whole medium. But Facebook loves videos. It loves when you are using their stories feature. They love when you are live streaming, which is when you're going live on video. They also like local content. So anything local in your area that you could put on there, that usually does well. And images too. Twitter, it's images and optimized articles. Instagram, it's video, it's stories. Again, and images, also IGTV. So Facebook does own Instagram. They like to favor the same things. Pinterest, it's images all day long. I don't know if you guys are still on there or not, but infographics obviously do very well over there. And then on LinkedIn, did I lose you? I lost you.
No. There you go.
Yeah, on LinkedIn, it's video. It's also guest posts. It's articles, sharing articles that you've written, and also articles that maybe are relevant to your industry, as well as putting images out on there as well. So one of the first pieces of content that you guys should be creating, and I don't know about you, but I'll ask this to you, Joanne, and see if when's the last time you had a photo shoot, Joanne?
It has been about 4 wrinkles ago. So it's time for me to have another photo shoot. Yeah, when people can't recognize you anymore, it's time. And actually, I was going to wear that same exact outfit at my next photo shoot as well.
Were you? I think you could totally wear it. I think you could. But guys, also let us know in the chat too, do you have any recent photos of yourself, or is this something that you may need to be putting on your schedule? I need you guys to stop using stock photos, whether that has to do with trying to mask who you are or your brand. And instead, you need to pencil in a day where you can just walk around taking photos of your company, the team, the process, of yourself. And then you're going to need to use them in your marketing plan. You can share them on social, obviously not all at once. A lot of people haven't even seen all these images. This all came from one photo shoot that I changed my outfit, I think 3 or 4 times. And this was all in my apartment as well. So you need to give people a real look at who you are and what you do. So my friends sometimes help me get pictures. I've also used a Thumbtack, and that's Thumbtack, and those have affordable photographers there. My camera also has a remote that I can take pictures with, which is kind of cool. Now, before you schedule a photo shoot, you need to do some research and look for lifestyle images you love and that fit your brand. And then plan out different poses, locations, and what you're going to be wearing. Also, you could team up with a photographer to get professional shots of your work. And you need photos for everything, right? They need to go on your website, social media, marketing materials, presentations, promos, ads, you name it, you need a photo for it. So put a photo shoot on your calendar right now. Do people have recent photos of themselves? Joanne?
Nobody is posting, so I assume that means please don't call on me because I haven't had a photo since 1974. I think that's probably so you're right. And isn't it true, Tori? How often do you go to an event and you meet someone that you see their picture all the time, and when you get there, you don't even recognize them? Their hair's a different color. So you're right. It is so important for us to keep them updated.
And they should be lifestyle photos too of like our beautiful rooms that we're creating. Like use the amazing spaces that you're creating to capture the moment with you in it as well. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yes.
So this is from another photo shoot, just saying this is a few years old, but you see how I'm using it again in my marketing materials. This is an automated touching point. This is another thing that you should have in your business, and it's going to be extremely valuable for you to create an inbound workflow in 2020, right? We don't want it to keep on, obviously we want to keep on touching people and going out there and telling people about it, but we want people to find us organically more and more. So with downloads and offers that you can use to trade people for their name and email, I know we've all probably done this a ton of times. Your offer should be so valuable that it would be worth paying for despite it being free or a low monetary entry fee. So like a $7 or a $9 thing. You want to make it really low. So it's almost like, yeah, why wouldn't I want that? And then when it comes to sharing emails, people are super guarded and they're going to hesitate if they think you're going to spam them. So you want to have a privacy policy up, up on anything you have online to know that, their address is going to be safe. And if you don't have time or you don't know how to create these fancy designs, you can try Designer.io, which is DESINRR.io, or obviously my favorite, Fiverr, for someone to create something like this for you. Another,
Tori,
go ahead.
Deborah Barone did say that she had a photo shoot last year, last March, with fabulous results, and they were taken at a very upscale apartment building. So kudos to you, Deborah, that you're on task.
Yes, and definitely keep them, like, you don't have to say, okay, well, I had a photo shoot last year, or, I mean, like, if you can try and get one once a quarter or twice a year, that would be amazing, because you're staying relevant, you're keeping content fresh, you're giving, whether you're doing it yourself or you're handing it off to delegate it to someone else, you're giving them content that they can create around and giving them fresh images, Another piece of content that's still relevant in 2020 is blogging. How many people here blog? I'd love to know that. So here's the deal. The more blog posts you have, the more chances you have to rank in a search engine. So, which obviously will bring more traffic to your site and more people interacting with your brand. If you're going to blog, you have to optimize each post with keywords and promote it on Pinterest. That is the key. If you're blogging, you need to be on Pinterest, because Pinterest is going to help drive traffic back to your site. You can guest post on someone else's website too. It's important to create a genuine relationship with that person before asking to contribute. But people that have these platforms like this are constantly looking for contributors and people to help them create the content. And what you want to do first is find out more about the instructions that they require and the format that they have in order to present them with a good guest post. I do want to let you guys know I'm accepting guest posts on my blog and would love to highlight any relevant staging content, transformations, anything like that. So if you have a good story to tell, hit me up, inbox me, because I need some good contributors.
Tori, if I may, Molly asked the question, she bartered with a photographer to have a photo shoot done, and does it have to be, or where would you suggest, if she doesn't have a lifestyle location like a house or a staging, where might you suggest a great place to be?
You could do, so a lot of my photo shoots have been right in my house. If your house is staged or decorated in a brand that you want to promote, then you could use it in your house, or maybe a friend's house, or maybe it's more of an outside photo shoot. I don't know if anybody saw any of my my photos with my Black Friday sale back in November. I know that's a while ago, but I was all outside. I was like I was with the season in fall and throwing leaves and by grasses and things like that. So you can use the natural elements too to tell your story. You just want to make sure that it fits your brand and what you're trying to say.
Great, thank you.
Of course. So another thing too are these visually chart graphics. These remain to be pretty popular in 2020, and for good reason, because Pinterest loves these. Also, you can put these in your blog, and these will also share. These share a lot. So infographics are visual charts and tables that typically tell a story. Infographics are some of the most shared mediums of content over the internet, and shared at a much higher rate than any textual content you can create. So we process visual context 60,000 times faster than text, and people typically seek out stories in the midst of their content viewing experience. So being easily scannable and sometimes highly emotional, infographics are the perfect addition to any article you wish to share over social media and make a good thumbnail image to your post as well. So you can create all of these in Canva or use someone else's to post in your own blog if you don't have the time or maybe the skills or maybe you just don't want to create these aren't your thing. But you can use someone else's, just obviously credit them back, and they may then share your post, which would get more eyeballs on the content that you already created. Next up is this interactive content that is becoming much more popular. So you want to use the tools inside the platforms like Facebook and Instagram to ask questions, create a quiz or a poll. And you can also create image graphics with questions in Canva. So let me kind of explain what's on your screen here. I'm not sure if everybody is familiar with stories, and we'll go into them a little bit more in a second. But on the left, yes, the left part of your screen here where it says location, mention, hashtag, these are all interactive buttons that you can add to an image inside of a Facebook or Instagram story to create more interest. So you can see here in this middle picture, fashion is more important than, and this is a poll, comfort, function, easy to take on and off, all of the above. So somebody checking this story out would click on one of these options, and then that is an interactive piece of content right there. Also, what is the most useful tool you own? This is something that I create for one of my clients, a graphic. We usually ask a question every other morning up on Facebook that people respond to. And then this other image here is just a poll that I did on one of my private Facebook groups of seeing when would be the next time to offer a class. So get creative with how you're going to be interacting with people online. All right, time to chat. Chime in again and let me know yes or no in the chat below who here uses video in their business. This is my favorite medium because it encompasses all the different ways to communicate. You're able to put written words on there. You're able to pull audio from there. You're able to pull images from there and create GIFs and all these other things. So this is why I love video so much, because it's easier to create overall. Do we have anyone chiming in about video?
No one is chiming in so far, but hang on, let me scroll here because it takes a minute.
All right, well, video is powerful, and let me tell you why. Video receives the highest engagement out of any other form of content available. So according to Bright Cove, video engagement is more than 1,200 times higher than text. Or, I'm sorry, I should say 1,200% higher than text and image-based posts combined. So that's the world's largest social platforms. Facebook and YouTube are also the world's most trafficked, I can't say the word anymore. It's past a certain time. Video platforms. So video content is so effective because it's visual. It's as equally passive as it is mentally demanding. And beyond this, video performs well over every single social media platform available. Why, might you ask? Video can show you something, take you somewhere, or introduce you to somebody. My video visibility course helps you create a step-by-step video marketing plan tailored to your business. So let's talk more about these stories that we were just talking about. So this is one of the easiest ways that you could start embracing video in your business if you haven't done so already. And what you need to do is, so you're going to see this image over here to your left again where it says your story. That's where you can add your stories. This is on Instagram. The same type of circles live on your Facebook. You may have seen them before. I would love to know, Joanne, too, if anyone's actually used stories in their business.
Okay, and I do have a few questions and comments when you are ready for them. So yes, if you've used stories, please chime in.
All right, So Facebook, Instagram, and even YouTube, if you have over 10,000 subscribers, they have this tool inside their platform. And these are great to show the behind the scenes of your brand and show your day-to-day life. And not just like your food life or, you know, when you're hanging out with your friends, but show your business life. These last 24 hours in your feed and then disappear, but you can save them and reuse them on other platforms or even in your blogs. I've used these in my blogs. I'll show you in a second where you can save them on Instagram. So this is what happens when you're doing a story. You're gonna click on this little your story icon, which is up in the top left corner of your screen right now. And what happens is you can either shoot a video, you could take a picture, you can do some text or whatever. And then it gives you all these other options. Now, we do interactive workshops with this, so we could definitely do this for you one day if you'd like. But so you're gonna get an image here, and then if you click this little smiley button with a little flap over the head, this is gonna give you all these graphic things that you can start adding, like this woman here, or the @ symbol, and start tagging people. You know, I got Shauna Lynn Simon dancing over here. So there's a lot of things you could do with stories, and I suggest that you do start trying them out, and know that you can also not post them if you don't like them. So the stories, they live here. If you look at my little profile picture here, it's got this purple, orangey, yellow circle around it. And if you would click on my profile picture, then the story comes up. But I'm showing you where the arrow is right here, where it says events, fun, videos, fur babies, travels. This is where you can save each of your stories to a different highlight reel. So these are called highlight reels. And what happens is, if you were to click on the events tab, you would see all my stories that live at my events, right? That are about my events, or about events just in general that I attend. Fun would show me having fun, and all these different stories come together to create one continuous video inside of these little buttons. So I hope that makes sense. But this is a way that people, again, you can humanize your brand and highlight what you're doing kind of behind the scenes. And it's very effective. Facebook and Instagram they really want you to utilize this tool. And I've said this before, I'll say it again, I actually get more interaction on my stories than I do on just a regular image that's in my post, either on Facebook or Instagram. So I go to my stories now all the time.
Tori, if I may, a couple of comments. A couple of people said, nope, no video, terrified, can't see it happening. So that is hard. Ellie says she just bought your visibility course, so she's excited about where that will take her. But her question is, who do we share to? Do we just create a specific audience and just put it out there? Or just put it on our Facebook business page and personal page and just hope someone will find it? Do we want to keep our target market, or our, the words just left me, but the client that we're after, do we want to address them all to them, or do a variety?
I think you need to do a variety. I'm not sure, Allie, if you're talking specifically about stories or videos in general, but if you're doing a video in general, and taking the time to, whether you're doing a live stream or an actual video that you're going to create and edit, you want to blast that thing everywhere. I mean everywhere. You can literally put it on every platform, put it in an email, put it, which we're getting to now, but like, you want these things to go out there and go everywhere, and you want to be able to reuse your content as much as possible. This way, you're not sitting here thinking of new content to create all the time.
Okay, and a couple of other comments people have said, I've done some videos, but I have not done enough of them. So, and so everybody wants to take care of, or listen to what she is saying and follow through. Sarah is saying, I use IG stories to post weekly decorating tips.
I
And
love it.
someone says, Ellie asks, should our Instagram profile picture be a picture of ourselves or our logo?
That's a tough question. If your brand requires you to be involved in it, then it might be you. If your brand it's got more of a company feel to it and it has multiple employees and you're not the face of your brand, then I would use your logo.
Great feedback. Thank you.
Awesome. So yeah, if you guys, if you need me to review anything or further explain kind of what I've covered, let me know as we're going through this, because I want to make sure that you're understanding it and I'm getting to all of your questions. Speaking of questions, let's talk about frequently asked questions. So what questions do your customers always ask you? What problems do you always solve for them? If you don't know, keep a running, like I told you before, keep a running list of questions, then you answer them on camera like this. I'm going to share this video with you.
Hopefully.
Hi, I'm Tori Toth, a celebrity home stager, best-selling author, and the founder of the Stage to Sell Strategy. This 9-module course is the world's first home staging course developed exclusively for home sellers, available online utilizing over 40 on-demand videos. The Stage to Sell Strategy is a proven system designed to show you how to prepare your home for sale so you can market the home properly and get it sold quickly. I know you need help staying motivated and you need help knowing where to spend money and where to save it so you can get the biggest return on your investment. I take you step by step through the process, from getting into a seller's mindset to making repairs, organizing, cleaning, and accessorizing your home to emotionally attract buyers, not to mention potential offers. You get videos, downloads, guides, and access to me online to answer your questions and motivate you on this journey, plus so much more. Sellers now have the power to get their homes prepared for sale by signing up for this course now. We also have membership opportunities for real estate agents, brokers, and home stagers to provide these same steps to their clients to get one step closer to the closing table. Go to thestagetoSellStrategy.com and click on the Buy Now tab to learn more, and I'll see you in class.
So that was just literally me answering the question, what is the Stage to Sell strategy? And that was my answer. I just had a camera. I was looking at a camera. I actually used a teleprompter. You don't have to be that scripted if you don't want to. I did mess up. That's why you would see little tight shots and further away shots. But know that in videos like these, you want to be maybe a little bit more polished if that's your brand. You don't have to be. But the real nugget here is that you're giving the person information, and you can add these videos to your website or emails to field questions before a potential client even asks. And that's the most important part here, because that says that you're on point. Like, you know what these people are going to be asking, and you're coming to the table answering the questions before they even know what question to ask. And if you don't want to be on camera, you could still showcase your work, and you could try a program called Ripple or Animoto. All right, now I want to talk about live streaming. This is another way you could start using video in your business. I know this is a scary way for a lot of people, but it's not that bad. I'm going to share a trick with you right now so you can kind of conquer your fear, first of all. This is the ultimate visibility tool. Doing Facebook or Instagram Lives is the name of the game. So this type of content helps humanize your brand, obviously. And small mistakes or slip-ups are to be expected in this platform. It just kind of adds the charm to it, right? Facebook Live allows others to experience you and engage you in a whole new way. And I have a whole Facebook Live workshop that we'll discuss in a little bit, but I wanted to show you this trick. You can fake lives, okay? So here's how. Before going live, you're going to click this little toggle, and I'm showing you this example over here to the right of your screen to determine who sees this. If you click only me, then go live, you'll be the only one that sees this video. And then once you're done, you can review it, then decide if it's worthy of public display. Also note the first few times that you're live, most likely people will not be on there with you live. So don't worry about that. Facebook actually needs to catch up to you if you're going to start doing lives more and notify your friends. Another way that you could be using video in your business is, this is one of the best ways to connect with your audience, is by sliding right into their inbox and personally reminding them that you exist. So Loom is a new kind of work communication tool that helps you get your message across through instantly shareable video. You could capture your screen or use your camera to record your message. Then you can insert it into an email or messenger. You could also use another email tool like BombBomb. I've been testing out Loom a little bit this year so far, and apparently it seems to be working. A GIF, I don't know if anybody has ever tried to use a GIF before, but a GIF is a type of image or video file that is animated, and usually it's under 5 seconds. GIFs load quickly and look great on websites. They've also become a shorthand way to communicate on social media. So this is my one GIF right here. Who's ready to talk video? This girl. And then this is us being accountable over here. So once you're, basically they become shorthand ways to communicate on social media. And then once your GIF is ready, you need to share it. You have the option to share directly to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even emails, and your website. And it's a quick way to show your audience how fun you and your brand can be. So you can use this with an app called Jiffy, or Memento is the one that I used for these. But these are great fun little ways to show kind of your behind the scenes, and also a way that you could reuse your stories. Now let's talk a little bit about industry influencers, and whether you realize it or not, you're already an influencer that's visible in the marketplace. The only questions are this, okay? What's out there forming a person's perception about you or your company, and how many people are you actually reaching? By acknowledging you own your visibility footprint, you're making it easier for others to discover you as you direct the narrative. So influencer marketing uses key content creators to drive authentic conversation, engagement around a brand's product or message. An influencer is one who influences people to live better lives, do good things, and ultimately be more themselves. You don't need to have a large audience to get started. Let me say that again. You don't need a large audience to get started. So there's this thing called nano influencers, and they are the smallest in terms of followings, but they have the best engagement, typically within a local or a super niche community. So nano influencers usually have less than 1,000 followers and are selective about the products or brands that they can endorse. This is where you guys can make some moolah. Building relationships. So this is simple, right? But it's critical. So we need to build those one-on-one relationships. These connections are important, especially in person. You need to attend events, go to chamber and real estate meetings, whatever you can do to get out there and start talking to people and reach out to, I want you guys to reach out to 5 people every day to create a personalized experience, whether it's in person, on the phone, or online. You should be reaching out to at least 5 people a day. Connecting people to one another is one of the best ways to also make a lasting impression. So go out there and make connections, not only for yourself, but for other people. And it's also an amazing way to increase visibility for your business. You want to seek every opportunity to connect to people who could be beneficial for one another. So there are groups where you can connect with other entrepreneurs. We're in a group right now, aren't we?
Yes.
And who are willing to share your work with their community in exchange for you doing the same. This is a great way for you to gain access to a new audience, as well as provide your audience with fresh and relevant content. So you could use a meetup group, or a mastermind is another good idea to join or even create. My client just started a real estate mastermind in her area because she had limited real estate events to attend. And she ended up getting 25 people to respond to her for the meetup, and 8 actually attended her first meeting earlier this week, which was shocking, but she was able to market it in a way that would be beneficial for everyone involved. So think of that and consider starting a group or being an active member this year in a group that you're already a part of to build more relationships, not only online, but offline as well. Now, another thing, if you want to become an influencer this coming year, is that this is probably your least popular way of doing it, but one of the most effective ways to be seen is to be a speaker. So you want to start by presenting at real estate offices. Maybe you have a cool niche in your business, and consider speaking at conferences to share your experience. A lot of people have a fear of public speaking, but I had a fear of public speaking. I think I even mentioned that on this stage when I was at IHOS late last year. But getting your message in front of large groups of people is a surefire way to gain your visibility. Here's what you need to do. You need to have a variety of presentation ideas to pitch them. Your presentation should have time variations and be in different formats so you can easily accommodate if somebody needs a PowerPoint presentation, or if you just need to speak to 10 people in a boardroom, put together a speaker one sheet and a speaker reel as you get more gigs, and this is going to help you showcase your expertise and your work more. And don't forget to promote this before, during, and after the presentation, no matter what size, no matter who your audience was. So if you had one person in your audience that day, you better be presenting, you better be showcasing that you did all of this amazing, and be putting it on all your social media platforms. Then the next thing to become more of an influencer this year is to plan out your social media calendar for important dates and ideas. What holidays would you like to post about? Important dates in your industry you'd like to recognize, or even important dates to your company. You need to spend a few hours reviewing this and writing some posts up ahead of time. This is my content calendar. I use Sprout Social, and I post about 4 times a day on multiple platforms you see here. And I use and reuse my content. So find ways to syndicate your content using software like Sprout Social or Meet Edgar, Hootsuite, Tailwind. These are a few of my favorites, but there are a lot of ways to keep your content out in the world circulating. And know that your blog posts, like when you're doing blog posts or when you're doing videos, you can't just post it once and be done with it. You have to post it multiple times, not only throughout the first few weeks, but then months after. If it's evergreen and relevant content that makes sense to be promoting, put those things back out into the world so you're always showcasing new and relevant content. Press, if you're going to become an influencer, press is also an amazing way to increase your visibility of your brand. And if you haven't considered becoming a resource for your local media, now is the time. Whatever is going on in the world, if you have a unique spin on it, pitch it. Again, lead with value, lead with the value, right? The reader, the viewer, the listener must learn something from you. You could pitch yourself in newspapers, radio, podcasts, local news. There are a ton of media outlets who need contributors, so start pitching yourself. Some outlets will let you repurpose content you've already written or you've shot, and some require new content, but create a list of media outlets that speak to your target customer and start applying. This is an amazing way to boost your brand and your visibility. Does anybody have any questions on that before we move on to the last topic here?
If you have any questions, type them in now and I will share them with Tori. And Tori, thank you. You're giving us some great ideas. Cheryl, do you maybe have a question for Tori before we move on? Oh, Cheryl may
I'm
not.
sorry. I'm here. I muted so that my dog wouldn't be barking on the
Oh,
no, I don't have any questions for her right now, but I have to say that I never heard of Sprout Social. So is that similar to a Hootsuite?
It allows you to post. I love Sprout Social because it's in calendar format. I know Hootsuite kind of is too, but it is. It's kind of like Hootsuite, but I feel like it's simplified and it looks prettier. So I decided to pay a little bit more money to use that. But
Okay.
Hootsuite works very well.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Of
okay.
course.
No other questions, so we're going to let you keep moving forward.
Okay, so now let's talk about some client relations and what type of relationships you have with your clients. If anyone's there, you can let me know in the chat. And how do you rise above the noise? What sets you apart from other people and other brands is you and how you actually communicate with your clients. So when someone starts the buying process, they start in a search, right? That's what happens when someone's buying a home. Become the brand that answers their questions thoroughly so they have no choice but to contact you. And you want to be able to focus on a narrow target audience and understand their challenges and turn them into clients. So I kind of created this earlier tonight. I hope it makes sense, this little slide here. But how will you keep a relationship thriving from a potential lead to a customer to a referral, right? Because your customer and your client eventually will become a referral for a new person. What does this journey look like to you? And this is just something hypothetical, but it can mean whatever it needs to mean for you. So let's look at this slide here for a second. Let's say I created a YouTube video, and inside the YouTube video, I did a call to action saying, hey, check out this link. I'm going to give you a checklist of the living room and the family room on how to prepare your house for sale. So they go to the checklist, they put in their name, they put in their email address, and they get this checklist. The next thing I'm going to do is follow up with them maybe a day or two later with an email saying, hey, why not join my Facebook group that talks a lot about preparing your house for sale, or whatever the case may be. This is a hypothetical situation. So inside the Facebook group, they come and they're hanging out there for a while. And then maybe I promote the book that I created so they can get more tips. This is still very free, and there's not a lot of buy-in for it, right? So they're able to purchase the book and get more tips. And then from the purchasing of the book, maybe it's now to try and contact them on a call and see if I can get them to do a consultation with me in my local area. This is a customer's journey through your process. And I hope you guys really think about this. And these are some things that you should be thinking about as you create your customer journey. Is you want to set clear objectives, obviously, for the map that you're creating. Profile your specific audience and define their goals and what they're going to need from you. You also want to highlight your target customer and list out all of your touching points. So these are touching points: your video, a checklist, an email, a Facebook, my book, a call. These are all different ways that you can connect with people. And then you want to identify the elements you want to map, your map to show. So this is like my ideal map, right? And then determine the resources you have and the ones you're still going to need. So maybe you didn't write a book yet, but maybe you have a really good workbook or a guide that you created, or maybe you still have to create that and put that on your list and schedule it out and get it done so you can continue your journey of expanding the relationship with your client. Also consider taking the customer journey yourself to see if it works and it makes sense. And if it doesn't, make changes. This is an evolving process that you should probably look at once a quarter to make sure it's still bringing leads into your business. If it's not, see where the leads stop and make a change. All right, one other thing here too is that you want to utilize Google. And when selling homes, most buyers will look at properties first online. We know that. And the same holds true when someone is researching a company. So start the conversation with Google My Business. Now, Google My Business can be your digital storefront. And this is the digital storefront here that you're looking at, the Decorating and Staging Academy. Now, start by sharing a description of your business, hours of operation, services offered, and engage with recommendations and reviews. It looks like we could use some reviews over at the DSA. So if you guys are watching this and you love it, please write them a review for all the amazing content and programming that they promote and share with you. That would be a wonderful way to appreciate them. And then you want to expand briefly on your service options and then also the features. These features allow you to not only list products, but your services and pricing too. So you're kind of like weeding people out that you don't want to work with by creating something like this. And if you're a personality versus business, Joanne, we need to get you one of these, okay? Like, so you need to create this thing called a knowledge panel. And I actually just did this tonight. So this is something even new for me. But if you claim your knowledge panel here, then you get to, because we don't have, because I don't have a physical business that people can visit or like a specific thing. This is more like an online marketing or someone who has more of a brand around themselves. You want to claim your knowledge panel if you're able to. So you can start directing kind of what's in that little area for you. And then you can also create custom posts and regular offers, and this will keep your followers engaged as you're able to constantly add new information to this. This, again, is like your virtual store or your business card, so people can just like type in your name or part of your name or something, and if it's relevant to the keyword research, you pop up, and you pop up in a big, big way. You also want to tell people, you want to tell their tales and encourage reviews and see what's already out there. So word of mouth has turned into word of mouth has turned into world of mouth, right? And now when people recommend you, the whole world can see it, and people rely on reviews to know whether or not they could trust a company on the internet. I think we've all been to a place where we are just about to buy something, and then we see a negative comment and it kind of changes our mind. So you want to thank people for being positive and giving you positive reviews, and apologize to people who have given you anything negative say. You obviously you want to try and turn that relationship and make it and do what you can do to make it right, but never, ever, ever argue with someone over a review online. That could potentially kill your business. So you can do a few different things with testimonials and reviews. Obviously, if anybody is giving you any type of social comment or review that they love, you can screen capture it and put it into something maybe it's a testimonial page or a place where you keep these things. So you're able to capture exactly their name, when they wrote it, what they wrote, and even their picture. It's like an instant credibility type of thing. Up here on the top left, you see from Nicole that I took her testimonial and I branded it a little bit with what I do, and I made it look pretty, and I still put her testimonial in there saying what clients say. But guys, video testimonial is where it's at.
A couple of years ago, while attending the RISA conference, we sat in on one of your classes. And being we were a new startup at that time, it was very important to us, the information that we gathered. And what we really was looking for was how do we market and tell our story. And so we split the team up, and I went to one of your classes along with one of my team members. When we did, we got your notes, we got the information, and we went back, we went to your website, and we downloaded as much information as we could gather. We had a team meeting, and we talked about our marketing strategy for the first year of our business. And what we did, we took the checklist, we went down the checklist, we prioritized to determine what could we start with first. What could we do and manage, because we're small, and we had to have a clear division of labor, who was going to do what. So I ended up taking the marketing piece. And in doing such, we made a commitment to post on Facebook consistently. We followed some of the tools and some of the suggestions that you had made.
So when this information is coming from your physical client's mouth, it's like an instant yes for potential clients. So this is a video testimonial. I would also recommend doing case studies, and obviously written, any type of testimonial will be fine, but doing it on video is better because it's coming directly from the person who had the experience. A testimonial, just if you don't know, a testimonial is the client telling the outcome of working with you, where a case study explains the entire journey of the customer had. So the pain points, why they chose you, what problem did you solve, the process that you created for them, and then the outcome. These work wonders when you're trying to promote your company. Also, one other way to create better customer relations is you need to be collecting emails through a call to action, and it could be a dedicated page, an opt-in on your blog feed, or a pop-up that appears when people get to your website. But you guys need to have a way to capture someone's name and email, and then also have a way to automatically respond to them often. And this is an older automation process that I use, but you could see here on the right that somebody would fill out the form, they get tagged, and that's how everything works here in automation, is that they get tagged as a certain person, and then they get a series of emails based on that tag, and then they get a replay, and then they'll get the post-webinar sales, and if anyone buys between any of that, they get taken out of this sequence, and then they can go to a different sequence. So it's really important to kind of have a back end to your business as well as your front end. The last thing I kind of want to talk about here is retargeting. And when someone visits you online, you want to make sure you retarget them once you leave. This is one of the best ways to close more sales. And one of the easiest ways to do this is through Facebook and Google AdWords, and run a retargeting campaign based on website visits that you had over the past 90 days. So I'm not sure if you guys are all familiar with a Facebook pixel or not, but it's a simple piece of code that you can place onto your website in the header area, and it tracks conversions. It will market to people, or it will remarket to people who have already visited your website. Build targeted customer audiences for future ads, and the pixel will start collecting data as soon as you place it on your site. So you'll have remarketing and custom audience information ready when you start an ad campaign or anything like that. So this is the key, guys, to all of this that we've talked about tonight. Just like anything else you do in your business, you need to create systems and processes, have a plan, and stick to it, because you can't have the mentality of one and done. You need to be consistent. You need to write down right now how you plan on marketing your business, what you're going to be implementing from tonight's session that we talked about, how many pieces of new content that can you create each week. Like, don't overextend yourself. Even if you start out slow and then start building up over time, just start with one piece of content if you could create it each week. Also, what day and time are you going to be releasing this content? And how will you engage with the people you're trying to communicate to? Do you need to be in person? Can you do things online? Are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? Are they on LinkedIn? Where are these people, and how can you engage with them? Also, what day will you review your insights to find out what's working and what's not? Because if something isn't working, you can tweak it to make it benefit you. I did want to let you know about a Facebook group that I have. It's called facebook.com/visibility for entrepreneurs. I know some of you are in here. This is a great way to just share the content that you have. I'm trying to make everybody more visible in the industry. So, and share pieces of content, share your platforms. You know, we've got different days for different things. So definitely take a part in that. And I did want to offer one other thing, if I can, Joanne. And this is just to inspire you guys to take action at some point today or throughout the year. We have our Facebook Live workshop, and if you join, you're able to save $350 in bonuses. I do some marketing consulting sessions. So if you had any questions about any of this and needed a better strategy or a step-by-step process to create a marketing plan, I can certainly help you with that. And let's say you have no idea how to start with me. You could just do a free discovery session. Maybe you just want to talk with me and chat with me and say, how great I did tonight. But you guys go to bit.ly/capital create content, and that's capital create content. And we can continue our conversation and relationship there.
Wonderful, Tori. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have lots of questions for you.
All right, awesome. I'm ready.
All right, so Mary says, you said to repost content. Do you repost it to the same people?
So what happens when you repost content is that a lot of times you think people may have seen it the first time, but they usually don't. I'll repost it. I usually don't repost it at the same time. I'll repost it at a different time, even if it's on the same platform. And this way it gives people an opportunity who maybe people don't log on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn at 12 o'clock, but maybe they do it around 5 o'clock and they'll be able to see it then.
Okay, perfect. So Stacy says, how do you find out about all these different methods?
A lot have been trial and error, and a lot have just been what's been working in my business. Like I mentioned before, I have an online component in terms of home staging, and I've also been embracing this whole social media and video world for a pretty long time, and it's kind of become my second job now.
And that brings me to the question from Terry. How much time a week do you actually spend on all the different social medias?
So like I told you before, the trick here is if you're able to create the content throughout the week and not look at it as a burden. You guys could be creating content while you're stuck in traffic, or while you're driving somewhere, or while you're waiting for the furniture people to show up, or while you're, content comes from everything that you're doing. You just have to create a mind shift around that and be like, oh, well, I'm looking at these tiles today, but maybe I can show somebody how to put tiles together, and then that's teaching somebody how to do something or showing them my expertise, which could lead to a new phone call.
Absolutely, Tori. And I think that's such a good point, because so often we think because we know it, they know it already. And I'm often amazed when I do a webinar or a seminar, the things that someone will come up to me and say, oh my gosh, when you said blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, didn't everybody know that? And as Stacy asked the question, if we give away too many tips, do we lessen chances to be hired? I mean, that's something I hear all the time, and it's like, oh my goodness, give it away. Your thoughts in regards to that?
I basically built my name and my brand at this point around giving tips to people. I had, like I said, I had a staging company in New York City. I loved doing it. As a lot of people know, it can become a beast. You have to figure out where you're getting inventory. You have to have manpower. You have to have all of these things. And when I had a personal issue happen to me, I took a step back and realized, do I need all of these pieces to the puzzle, or can I just share my expertise, and how can I leverage that? So giving away tips is one thing. You can, with this day and age and being online, you can help people near and far. You could be on calls like this, you could be on Zoom, they could be showing you through video what their room looks like and giving them consulting information and tips like that. So you obviously want to keep your good stuff close to your heart so you can monetize that more, but giving away free things and tips sporadically, it's really hard for people to piece things together.
I've been doing it for 45 years, and I still haven't ran out. So, I think I am a good case and point for that. So, Stacy, don't be afraid. And Stacy also asked the question, do I market differently to realtors than
Yes,
than a standard staging client?
Of course, because realtors, they come with their own language, so you need to know how to speak their language. You need to know how to market. You need to know how to market to them as being on their team, right? You're an asset to them. So how can you be on their team? What can you do that will maybe that will help them like delegate the stuff that they have to do? Maybe you are building up this amazing community. That's what I was able to do. So I was able to do a lot of marketing for the real estate agents that I was working for or doing videos for, that they weren't even doing videos yet, So that was a way of adding my value back to them and why they used me. I didn't cut down on my price at all for doing that, but that was just an added value. So yeah.
Okay, Kim asked a question in regards to Google. If your company is at your home address, do you put it in your Google listing?
I know.
That's always a tough one.
It is a tough one. I mean, I did, unless you felt that you could somehow
be
jeopardized. I mean, maybe you don't want to. You can always use a PO box.
Right. I did until a woman showed up. Yeah, I'm sorry, Tori. I did until a woman showed up at my house one day, and I was painting and had paint from head to toe, and she knocked on the door and was looking for my offices. And it's like, this is it. It wasn't. So, most of my years I've had a studio or office, but you make a good point there, Tori, to have a PO box could solve that problem.
Like, a UPS box, or even if you're able to give the general location without physically giving the exact address,
Ellie says that was a great review, your video review. Grace Ann says, do you get a signed release if you post a video testimonial?
You do. I actually have kind of one created. I can give it to your members if you want.
Okay.
And so everyone has it.
I'm sure they would love that. Sandra will find a way to share it with everyone. Dawn asked, how do you find out when is the best time to post?
Well, you just have to start posting and then look at your insights and see. I post usually 4 times a day: in the morning, at lunchtime, mid-afternoon. So I either post around 6 or 7. I'll post around 11 or 12. I'll post again around 4 or 5, and then I post again around 7 or 8.
Okay.
And you want to mix it up because you don't want it to be just stagnant, almost like a robot. You need to give the algorithm some, like a teaser.
Okay.
You need to.
Okay, and then our last question, Allie says, constant contact, MailChimp, all the options out there. What is the best email marketing platform?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really know what the best marketing platform is. I was using Infusionsoft for the longest time, and I stopped using it towards the end of last year. I am back on MailChimp. I do find that to be the best bang for your buck. I've heard ConvertKit is okay, but I feel like, you need more of an online platform for that. So at this point, if you're just starting out and you don't have anyone really on your email list, I would use MailChimp. I used that before when I first started my business because they give you so many subscribers for free. And this way you can just get into the habit of reaching out to people online and creating autoresponders and creating regular messages to them. And not only newsletters, if you're creating content, if you're creating weekly content to people, you want to blast them on social media with it as well. Like, let them see your content. Don't save it for the monthly newsletter or whatever. Like, stay in their inbox, because that's how you're gonna be relevant and stay top of mind.
Good point. Stacy says, off to a neighborhood event. Thank you very much. Allie says, thank you for answering her questions. And Cheryl, you have any comment you want to make before we wrap up this evening?
Yeah, I just want to say this was a great presentation, Tori. I really got some great information from you. And I had to laugh because the Only Me drop-down option for the video is a game changer. Like, I'm so not video friendly,
Yeah.
but knowing that I can do that and set it only for me until I'm really comfortable with it before I put it out into the world is amazing.
Okay, well, now Cheryl, here's the name of the game. When you do physically put one out there, you have to tag me in it, and then I'll know that's your
will. I absolutely will.
Well, thank you, everybody. And thank you so much, Tori, for joining us this evening. And thank you, everybody else. They're saying you're incredible, Tori. So kudos. Go to her social media and tell the word. Go to the DSA page. Tell people how much you enjoyed this event, please. And again, thanks for joining us. And thanks, everybody, for being so patient with our initial glitch. Who knows what was happening at the moment out there in the great beyond. But we all made it work. So thank you. Have a great evening. And Tori, I look forward to talking to you soon.
Bye, guys. Thanks so much for joining me.
Bye-bye.